What's up everybody? This is the EDC Conquest. My name is Ian, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the gear that lives in my pockets when I'm on the job site. Let's get into it. So I work commercial construction as a carpenter apprentice. So there are a variety of everyday carry tools that find their way into my pockets that just prove themselves to be a necessity for me to have with me all the time to be able to get the things done that need to get done. So this is just the EDC gear that is with me, excluding all of the proprietary tools and things of the trade that pertain to some of the things that I have to do for work. All of those tools might be covered in a future video, who knows? Well, if you guys are interested, comment below. But for now, we're just gonna talk about some of the EDC gear that is in my pockets. And the first thing I want to share with you is the most important thing that I keep coming back to, that I try to leave home without, but it doesn't really do it for me if I don't have it or try and substitute it with something else. The first thing that I want to share with you is the Leatherman Arc. That's right, Leatherman Arc. Might be a little bit controversial, but the Leatherman Arc is Leatherman's most expensive and premium multi-tool, the most used piece of gear that I have with me for what I do for work all the time. Whenever, not just at work, but whenever I'm working anywhere, whether it's outside, inside, whatever I'm doing, putting things together, the Arc is just proven itself to be the one multi-tool that I always come back to. So the Leatherman Arc has a main blade, which is a black coated Magna Cut steel blade with a nice sheep's foot drop point-ish blade shape and a nice flat grind, so it's robust enough to handle some heavier tasks while still maintaining a good slicing geometry. So the blade on it is used very much. So the next thing is the screwdriver. The Leatherman bit driver is so useful. I use the bits for a variety of different things, and just being able to swap between Leatherman's bits, which I'll get into a little bit later, is also super important. So the screwdriver is probably the second most used tool that I have on here. It also has a can opener. It has a nice saw that has seen quite a bit of use actually, and has the main pry tool bottle opener function that I use for pretty much all the things. You need a little scraper even, the pry tool works for that as well. It has an all eyeglass screwdriver, has a nice pair of scissors, one-handable scissors, and it also has a file. Cool thing about the Arc is it is made with Leatherman's free technology. The whole thing is one-handed. The pliers are one-handed. The tool set is accessible from the outside one-handed and has a safe one-handed closing lockup system that works for pretty much everything. Very useful. So Leatherman Arc is probably the most used tool, and also something that it has that not many other Leathermans have is the impact surface at the bottom of the tool. So if you need a makeshift hammer, or impact surface as they call it on the website, impact surface, yeah, that has come in handy multiple times as well. Really good for pounding lids back onto 5-gallon buckets when you don't want to bust up your palms. Just, that's really handy. So that's the first thing. Second thing is a flashlight. Second to a multi-tool or cutting tool, a flashlight is probably the most quintessential piece of gear that I use. I use it all the time. And the flashlight that finds its way into my pocket most of the time is the Nitecore MT2A Pro, previously mentioned on the channel. This light is just super rad. It's got 3 settings, a low, medium, and high. The low, I believe, is around 500 lumens, and the high gets up to about 1,000 lumens. So it's not a soft press, it's just a click on, and then you pulse through the modes and then click to turn it off. So very, very straightforward, very simple flashlight, but it's got a robust construction and a good lumen count and good candela, and I will always have a flashlight of some sort with me, and this is the one that finds its way into my pocket when I'm on the job site. And in the back pocket, I have some sort of razor blade, utility blade, whatever you call them. I have a DeWalt one here at the time. I will have a video coming out dedicated to utility blades and which ones are good and which ones to stay away from. So that's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Pretty self-explanatory, just razor blade on the job site. Do something you don't want to damage the edge on your good tool and you just want to beater edge, utility blade. Now, next, I'm gonna just show you a little something I have on my keys. So my keys are pretty simple, just a keychain with a carabiner. Recently upgraded to this titanium carabiner. It's a Rovivon titanium carabiner that I got from Amazon, which will be linked below. Most, if not all of the gear that I talk about in this video will be linked below in the description. So if you want to check out or pick up any of the gear I mentioned that you think could be useful for you in your life, then head on down to the description. Those are affiliate links. They do help the channel when you use them, but I'd encourage you to go over to Amazon and check out some of this really cool gear. So thank you. Next up, I'm going to share with you my wallet setup. My wallet is a Viperade pocket tool organizer. I think they call it like the V18 or V20, whichever one it is. I will have it linked below as well. But the organizer has proved to be a very, very useful one, and this is a big one. I'm not gonna lie or pretend it's not. This is a big organizer. However, the things that I do for work and the things I require to have on me to be able to get the things done that I need to get done are most readily available with this pouch, and it just seems to hold the maximum amount of things in it that I carry and use all the time. First, in this front pocket, I have all of my writing instruments or scribing instruments that I use. So first is going to be just a Milwaukee Inksol Sharpie that writes on the most variety of surfaces, and it just helps to mark things. I do carpentry, that is my occupation. So having a Sharpie as well as a carpenter's pencil on me at all times are a must. Additionally, a pen for writing and signing documents, and just being able to sign your name. I use the pen probably the most, but all of my writing instruments I use quite a bit. This is the Atomic Bear Stealth Tactical Pen. It's just a really solid pen with a really secure and reliable build quality. So shout out to Atomic Bear. They got some really cool tactical pens. The Stealth pen I think is my favorite one. However, I will have a full review on this pen coming soon. So with that in mind, we can move on to these pliers. These are the 5-inch Cobra pliers by Knipex or Knipex. I believe it's Knipex though. Some people pronounce it differently, but I think the K is silent, so Knipex. Knipex pliers, just these ratcheting channel lock style of pliers that allow you to grip things better than the nuts and bolts portion on the needle nose multi-tool combo style pliers. So these are super, super useful, and they grab everything that a Leatherman doesn't. It's good to have both. That's why I carry 2 pairs of pliers. So if I need to get a nut on one side and a bolt on another, I can grab it and then do my thing, and it'll I can fix that by being able to hold both ends of a nut and bolt system. Additionally, if I need more leverage or gripping power, I will tend to gravitate toward using these over, say, the pliers on the Leatherman Arc, which are still good, and I do use the needle nose quite a bit for just more precise grabbing things, and also they make better set of tweezers if you need tweezers in a pinch. Anyways, the next thing is paper. I carry a Write in the Rain notepad and it has been the most durable to sweat and going in and out of the organizer, and just being able to hold up to the conditions on the job site that I run into on a daily basis. A recent addition to my carry has actually been in something I stored in this back pouch here. You have all the pockets on the front of the organizer, and you have this one back pouch. We'll get into these zipper pockets in just a minute. The Leatherman bit kit with the proprietary flat bits has actually been pretty useful. I've been able to use quite a few of these bits on a lot of different types of hardware when we're doing finish work and things of that nature, and just assembling different things, installing windows, door operators, things of that nature. Having a good amount of bit capability and bit capacity is also very important. I find myself coming back to many of these different bits. Inside the main pocket here, I have a Leatherman ratchet driver, which is also a new addition, as well as the bit kits to be able to ratchet and use my screwdriver more effectively. So these things, if you can get a Leatherman ratchet driver, these things are worth their weight in gold. They are so handy. They do work with 1/4 inch bits as well. So whatever bit you have, this will be able to be compatible with that system. But it also is really good and made for the Leatherman flat bits. So all of that together, the Arc with the bit kit and the ratchet driver, is kind of a really dialed Leatherman multi-tool screwdriver system that just allows for the most versatility in whatever you are doing with that tool set. Additionally, I have my trusty Bic lighter with electrical tape that I use all the time. I just used some electrical tape today, actually. So whether it's for bandages or actually wrapping up wires and stuff, which I do quite frequently, those are the two main uses, but just being able to wrap stuff together is also very, very handy. So Bic lighter is also part of it, and then just a little bit of cash, and then that stays in the big pocket, and that is my wallet system. And then actually the little zipper is just what houses my cards and everything, all of my identification and debit cards. And then this is a Victorinox Swiss card, the classic version. This has gone with me pretty much everywhere. Whatever wallet I have with me, this will usually be in it, because even if you have a slim wallet, this will be able to go with you pretty much everywhere, because it does just fit in a card slot, even if you have just a normal wallet. So this has a nice little set of tools. It's got a tiny little blade, which is nice as a either a blade that you keep clean for sanitary cutting, if you want like a little bit of food prep-ish, if you just want some little cuts or whatever you need. Nice little backup blade. Not gonna perform super great with bigger stuff, but for little stuff, hey, it works. And then a nice little pair of scissors you also get, and then you also have a file. So it has a little screwdriver on the end of it, so it's a little bit of a combo tool. You have the tweezers and toothpick in the end, as well as Victorinox is good about including in all of their tools, or at least most of them. And then you also have a pressurized ballpoint pen. So this little tiny pen is kind of more of a backup than anything else. It's not a primary writing utensil or instrument or whatever you call it. It's just really good to have with you as a backup. And if you don't carry a primary pen, you can throw this in your wallet, and if you really needed to write something down, hey, you still got a pen. So that, and then the last thing that is a separate tool stored in the card is this. You might not be able to see it. It is a little pointed needle-like pin, which you can use for digging out slivers or like resetting routers. This will be super useful for any of those tasks. Additionally, it does have a little ruler marked out on the top of it. So that is what I carry on me all the time. One of the main things to be focused on when you have a job is being there on time. And the thing that helps me stay on time is my watch. I have a Casio G-Shock as my main watch that I wear for work. And it has held up pretty well. But as you can see, it has a lot of love and a lot of abuse that has gone through. And it's still just as good a watch as it was when I got it. I haven't really had any issues with it, and a G-Shock is kind of the way to go if you're in a career that has a lot of situations that can be hard on your gear. Concerning pocket knives, when I carry one, it's usually in my right front pocket. However, when I'm on the job site and I need a tool fast and only have one hand available, the Arc in the pocket has been a pretty unbeatable setup for what I need at my job. I used to carry a multi-tool, whether it was the Arc or another tool, in my pocket organizer. However, being able or having to grab it and fish it out of your pocket just to get the multi-tool, that is more beneficial when you just have one hand that can just snap, you got your tool. It's just more beneficial for what I need to have this in my pocket instead of a pocket knife. And then having all of my other resources and things in the organizer as kind of my catch-all stow away package that can just hold all of the other little goodies I got that I carry all the time. If I do carry a pocket knife, which I have recently quite a bit, the main pocket knife that I have carried is actually this one right here, the Civivi Yonder. This one is a Zach in the Wild design. This is his first knife design actually, and he is actually a journeyman carpenter and concrete specialist. You can go check out his channel, it's really cool. Zach in the Wild has some really cool stuff, and this knife is kind of a culmination of all his knife knowledge and experience that he's had in the field, and take into account some of the preferences that he wants in an everyday carry folder. So this is nice and small, so it fits in the pocket really well, and the handle to blade ratio is super useful. The handle is good fit for my hands. I have slightly larger hands, but pretty average. I'd say I'm about 3.25–3.5 inches from knuckle to knuckle width span. So that gives you an idea of my gripping range on the knife. So that is what I will usually carry, because the one-handed nature of the thumb stud and crossbar lock combo is kind of an unbeatable combination when you get into pocket knives. The pocket clip is nice and loop over and recessed screws, so it goes in and out of the cargo pants or reinforced pocket style of work pants that I use a lot for work. So in deploying the blade and returning it is not an issue. It has 14C 28N blade steel and is super thin, so the steel gives it enough toughness that it holds up to quite a bit of abuse, and yet it still slices like a champ, and it's super easy to resharpen. So the edge retention and toughness package, it's kind of like all of the things that you have in MagnaCut, lowered a step, but still maintaining one of the most balanced steels you can get for blades, especially ones in this size, is super useful. So yeah, I actually have 2 Yonders, but one of them Zach actually signed for me that I picked up at Blade Show last year. And he signed one, and that one is kind of special to me, so I don't carry that one and beat it up at the job site. So this one is a second one that I bought, so I can actually enjoy using his design tool. So yeah, that is one of the pocket knives that I use all the time. Okay, the next knife I'm going to show you is a bigger boy. This is the Spyderco Manix 2 XL in Crew Carta. Their Crew Carta series is a crew wear blade steel on a micarta handle. Together you got Crew Carta. So this one is super cool. It is super, super tough and holds its edge for a really long time. I have gone through tons of material with this thing. It just keeps going, and the only drawback is that you have to keep the blade clean because CPM crew wear is a powder metallurgy steel, which gives it high performance, but this particular one is not stainless. So it will patina and it can rust over time if you leave it alone and don't take care of the steel, but the blade itself is an absolutely awesome blade that I adore to carry. It is the bigger boy, so this one is the one I'll carry if I need a bigger knife. So that one is the other pocket knife that I carry all of the time. So all of this gear, and then additionally I do carry my phone on me. So my phone, my keys, my organizer, my multi-tool and flashlight, as well as utility knife, are the things that I carry with me all of the time. If there's a situation where I have a Leatherman or my multi-tool in a different pocket, then usually I will carry a pocket knife as well. But my predicament is, some people say if you need a multi-tool, just carry it on your belt, which I do agree with for the most part. If I didn't have the job I have, I might do that. But in my job, I have my tool belt, my nail bags that I have to strap around me all the time, and taking those on and off when I'm working and helping building walls and doing all that kind of official carpentry stuff. So I like to have a clean waistline, nothing on my belt or in the waistband. I like to keep that area clean so that nothing is like pinched or pushed against me or having to remove pouches and do all that. It's just so much more intuitive to have everything I need in my pockets where I can get to it easily, but still be able to transition to putting my nail bags on for my trade specific tools when I need them. So yeah, that being said, that is the majority of the things that I carry all of the time. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I have more videos on the way. Click on the video popping up right now. I'd invite you to like and subscribe and help us grow the channel as fast as we can, and just have a good time exploring the world of EDC, everyday carry. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good one. Keep it real and stay sharp.